Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, all of you can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's start with the next point in case of the Unit 4. Okay, last time we have discussed regarding the in few last lecture we have discussed regarding the learning agent and different kind of learnings which are being required for the learning agent to perform the activity just like the human beings. Okay. Now our today's topic is and this topic we will discuss in the next 3-4 lectures also. Okay, related points related with this topic. So today we are starting with the topic that is the artificial neural network. So it is the main what we can say main branch or the main section of the artificial intelligence is the artificial neural network. Now in case of the human being, we know the human being can perform the different kind of activity uh, from the childhood, okay, in the different ways, and its performance of the human being in performing the different activity get improved day by day as the development of his particular, what we can say, development of his brain goes increasing. And so if I ask you how the human being can perform the different activity very easily, activities like identification of some person, of some particular thing, comparison of different things, mainly calculation or computation of different kind of tasks, sensing of the different kind of things. Now how does the human being do all this kind of activity instantly? So as all of you know, in the biology also you must have studied, those who are having the subject of the biology, they must be very much familiar with these kind of things. So our main component of our body is nothing but the brain. Okay, and it consists of the these various kind of biological component, and with the help of that biological component, the human being can perform these kind of different intelligent activities. Understood? Now in case of the machine, how we can do all these kind of things, that is nothing but our point of study. As human being is the natural entity, as all of you must be aware, it is the natural entity, means in case of our body, all the things get generated or created naturally. Understood? It is the law of the nature. But we want to make the artificial human being, and if you want to make the artificial human being, and if you want the artificial human being to perform the activities like or feel the activity or sense the activity like the human being, then there is a need of the such kind of main component in the artificial human being, that is also the brain. Now natural brain cannot be there in the artificial human being. Understood? Just like there it is being present in the natural human being. So that is nothing but our point of study, that is the artificial neural network. So before we go to our actual point of study, that is the artificial neural network, first we need to understand the what exactly is the biological neural network. Okay, in the book also we have given this study so that we can apply this study to this artificial neural network. Okay, so first we need to understand what exactly this biological neural network is. Biological neural network in the sense the neural network which is present in human being, natural human being. Okay, So as we have say, we have discussed, the main component using which we can do the different kind of computation and we can sense different kind of things, that is because of the brain. And in our brain, the main computational unit is present, and that main computational unit of our brain is called as what? The nervous system. All of you must have heard about this. Okay, yes. Main computational unit in case of our human being, in that the brain is nothing but what? Nervous system. Understood? Now this nervous, why it is being referred as a nervous system? Because it consists of the various kind of nerve cells. Okay, it consists of what? Various kind of nerve cells, and these nerve cells are being biologically referred as what? The neurons. Most of you have heard about this word neurons. Yes, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So the different kind of computational activity that is being performed in the human brain, in the human nervous system, that is being performed with these various kind of nerve cell, that is being referred as the neurons. Okay, you should keep in mind, first we are going to understand the biological neural network. Okay, you are getting? Yes, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first we are going to understand the biological neural network, and then same we are going to apply it to the artificial neural network. Understood? So in case of the biological neural network, the main component which is being responsible for the computation in nervous system is nothing but referred as the neurons. Okay. Now, just like these neurons, there are, in case of the human brain, there are around 10 raised to 11 neurons are present. How much? 10 raised to 11 neurons, means approximately 100 billions. How much? 100 billions. Now tell me, what do you mean by the 1 billions? Tell me, 1 billion equal to how much? All of you got the question? 1 billion equal to how much? This ratio, that 10 raised to 11 approximately consists of the 100 billions. Now 1 billion equal to how much? Or number of times I told you. How 1 million equal to how much?
1,000, sir.
Kai 1000 kai. 1 million equal to
Billion.
1 million equal to 1000. Hmm? 1 million equal to how much? 1 billion equal to how much? You must know all these things. Hmm? Anybody? 1 million? Yes.
1,000,000,000.
1 million equal to?
1 billion equal to 1,000,000,000.
And 1 million?
10 lakh.
1 million equal to the 10
10 lakh.
lakhs. Understood? And if you go for the in crores, 1 billion is equal to 1 billion is equal to 100 crores.
100.
Understood? Now you can see here how many neurons are present in the brain. Approximately 100 billions. Now you know 1 billion equal to 100 crore means we cannot even imagine how many neurons, how many nerve cells are present in the human brains. Understood? And in the human nervous system. So each of these neurons, each of the single neuron is connected to the different neurons. Approximately each of the neuron is connected to the approximately 10 raised to 4 neurons, other neurons. Understood? Now when these different neurons are get connected to each other, you know the network is get formed, just like you must be knowing these things related with the computer network. When the different computers are get connected, we call it as a computer network. In the similar way, when these different neurons in our brain get connected to each other, the some particular network get formed, and that network is called as what? The neural network, which is nothing but the circuit or connection of the different kinds of neurons, and that is nothing but the called as what? Biological neural network. So biological neural network is nothing but what? Connection of millions of billions of neurons to each other for performing the computation activity is called as the biological neural network. Understood? Yes.
Yes, sir.
And so here also I have mentioned that the neural network or the biological neural network is the biological neuron made up of real biological neurons for solving the human intelligence problem naturally. So firstly we are discussing the biological neural network, then we apply this concept to the artificial neural network. Okay. So what exactly this neuron is then? What is this neuron? So neurons are nothing but the considered as a main or the fundamental unit of brain or the nervous system specialized to transmit the information to the different parts of the body. You know, the network, when the network forms, and in that network, how the network is formed, how this neural network is forming? Neural network is forming by connecting the different kind of neurons together. So main activity is being performed by these neurons which are being connected to each other. Main activity is nothing but what, or main function is nothing but what? Transmission of the information to the different parts of the body and receiving the information from the different parts of the body. That is nothing but the main functionality of the neurons. You all of you must understand this clearly. So same concept we are going to apply to the artificial neural network. Okay. Now here we have to study also the what exactly the biological neuron look like. Those students have studied the biology, they must be remembering these things. What exactly is the structure of the neurons? Is there anybody who has the biology subject? Yes. Most of you must be having the biology subject in the 12th. Okay. So this is the structure of the biological neuron. This is the that particular neuron look likes. Okay, as we have discussed, it is the fundamental unit of the nervous system, specialized to transmit the information to the different parts of the body and receive the information from the different parts of the body. So it is being considered as the building block of the nervous system, the main component of our brain. They receive and transmit the signal to the different parts of the body. They transmit the signal to the different parts of the body, and they can also receive the signal from different parts of the body. Okay, and these particular signals carried out in the both the physical form as well as in the electrical form. In our body also electrical signal pass through. All of you must be knowing this. In our body electrical signal pass through. Yes or no? Yes. Is it correct that in our body also electrical signal pass through? Yes. Is it correct or not? Yes. Is it correct or not? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Then why don't we get shocked? आपल्याला शॉक का लागत नाही मग? Why we alive? Because these particular electrical signals are not having that much amount of what we can say magnitude as compared with that electric signal that you see in the light. Understood? These are the normal electrical kind of signals which is being used to transmit the information in our body from different parts of body to the brain and from brain to the different parts of the body. Okay, and so there are the various types of the neurons are present in our brain, okay, for transmission of the information. And simply here we have taken the what kind of that neurons used to be there in our nervous system. So simply I have mentioned here the one kind of neuron that is being there, that is the sensory neurons used to be there, which carry the information from the sensory receptor cells present throughout the body to the brain. So these sensory neurons carried the signal from sensory receptor cells to the brain, or you can say from the muscles to the brain, or from the different organs of our body to the brain. That is the sensory neurons. Okay, we'll see the example for that also. Whereas the motor neurons transmit the information from brain to the muscles. So this is responsible from muscles to the brain, for example, and this is responsible from brain to the muscles. Can anybody give me an example of these sensory, when in our body sensory neurons work and the motor neurons works? So let me give the example. Sometimes when you are making the tea, I hope most of you have made the tea, and when you are making the tea in that particular pot, okay, and okay, it's boiling, okay, and tea is consider the tea is made, and accidentally you used to catch this particular pot with the naked hand. Okay, you used to catch this particular pot with the naked hand, where this pot is completely boiling. Now what you experience? All of you got the situation?
It too much heat.
आपल्या हाताला एक चटका बसतो, बरोबर. आपण जर नेकेड हँडनी जर ते भांड तुम्ही पकडायला गेला तर काय होतं, हाताला एक आपल्याला चटका बसतो. सो instantly, now the which neurons work there is the sensory neurons, where signals get transmit from your muscles of the hand to the brain. Yes or no? And instantly what you do after that, तुमच्या हाताला चटका बसतो त्यावेळेस नंतर तुम्ही काय करता, यू इन्स्टंटली पुट डाऊन दॅट पॉट, बरोबर ना, आपण ते सोडून देतो. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, sir.
That is nothing but there works which neurons? Motor neurons, where transmission of information from brain to the muscles. Got the example?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So sensory neurons and the motor neurons. Okay. So also there are the other interneurons which transmit the information between the different neurons in the body. Okay. So these are the different kind of neurons used to be present in the human brain nervous system, with the help of which the regular activities of the human beings get conducted. Okay. Let's see the next part. So here we have to also study the neuron structure. Okay. Now this is the biological neuron structure. First you need to understand the biological neuron structure, then only you can understand the artificial neuron structure. Okay. So as we have said, the neuron varies in the shape and the size depending on their functions. Now whereas just I told you sensory neurons, motor neurons, interneurons. So each particular neurons are having their specific functionality. Each particular neurons is having their particular role, and based on that their function, their size and shape get differentiated. Okay. So all the different neurons are having the different parts, and we are going to discuss here that some of the parts of the neurons. Okay. And these are the some of the parts of the neurons. You can see the first part is being referred as the dendrites. Okay, first part is being referred as the dendrites. You can observe this structure here, structure of the biological neuron. So you can see here. So dendrites is nothing but this part. All of you can able to see. Okay. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So this is the dendrites, like it is like the branch like structure. Okay, झाडाला जसं वेगवेगळ्या फांद्या असतात, like that. This is a tree branch like structure that receive the message from other neurons and allow the transmission of message to the cell body. आता this is just a single neuron. Okay, all of you are getting, this is just what? Single neuron. Like this, how many neurons are present in our nervous system? 100 billions. Correct.
Yes.
This is
Yes,
just a single neuron. But yeah, how, as I said, there is a different neurons are connected to each other. But connection कुठं होतं तर these dendrites, to these dendrites other neurons get connected. Okay, to these dendrites other neurons get connected. To these dendrites, again other neurons get connected like this. Different neurons get connected to the different dendrites and the network get formed. So here I have mentioned it's a branch like structure that receive the message from other neurons. बरोबर ना? जर ह्या न्यूरॉनला दुसऱ्या न्यूरॉन कडून मेसेज यायचा असेल तर this should be connected to the other neurons. All of you are agree? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And so that is the functionality of the dendrites. It allows the message transmission to the other neurons, and it allows it take the message from the cell body. Where is the cell body? This is the cell body stuff. This is the cell body. Okay, we will see what exactly this. So dendrites simply take the message from the cell body and pass it to the other parts and pass it to the other neurons. Okay, so that is the dendrites. Okay, then next we have the cell body. So you can see here, this is the cell body. Okay, this is the cell body. Okay, not this, this is the nucleus. So part around the nucleus is considered the cell body. So each neurons has a cell body with the nucleus inside that. This is the nucleus. Okay, this is the nucleus, and the part surrounding that nucleus is called as the cell body. Okay, so each neuron has a cell body with the nucleus, Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, and other components. Hey, biological words that we don't have to do anything with that. We have to just understand the different parts. Okay. So cell body is the spherical part of the neuron that contains the nucleus. This is the nucleus, and connect to the dendrites, which bring the information into the neurons and to the axons, which send information to the other neurons. तर बाहेरच्या न्यूरॉन्स कडून जे इन्फॉर्मेशन येईल त्यावेळेस इथं कनेक्शन होतं तर ती इन्फॉर्मेशन ओके टू गेट दॅट इन्फॉर्मेशन इनसाइड द सेल बॉडी इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल ओके and job of the cell body is to control all of the function of the cell. तर हे जे बाकीचे जे कंपोनंट्स आहेत ह्या कुठले कंपोनंट तर न्यूक्लियस, डेंड्राइट, सिनाप्सिस, एक्झॉन ह्या सगळ्या कंपोनंटवर कंट्रोल ठेवण्याचं काम कोण करतं? सेल बॉडी. ओके, so cell body is also being referred as in the biological word the soma. Okay, soma cells. It is being also called as the soma cells. Okay. So this is the cell body, okay, where you can see that to the cell body all other components are connected, dendrites, synapses, axons, nucleus, etc. तर ह्या सगळ्या बाकीचे जे कंपोनंट्स आहेत त्या सगळे कंपोनंट्स कंट्रोल करण्याचं काम कोण करतं? सेल बॉडी. ओके, सेम थिंग आय हॅव मेन्शन हियर. Cell body is the spherical part of the neuron that contains the nucleus and it connects to the dendrites and other parts of the body which bring information into the neurons. बाहेरून जी information येते that is being received here and it is being also connected to the axon which send information to the other neurons. बाहेरून information घेऊन collect करणे and send it again to the other neurons. That is the main part of this particular cell body. Okay, so that the cell body is the second component of biological neurons. Then we have the axon. Okay, axon is the tube-like structure that carry the electrical signals or the impulses from the cell body to the axon terminal that passes the impulses or signal to the another neuron. This is the called as this part. This is the axon part. All of you can able to see the axon. Here I have marked.
Yes, sir.
So this is a tube-like structure with the help of some chemicals. Okay, with the help of some chemicals, it used to pass the different kind of signals. Okay, electrical signals, and you can see here. This is also the nerve endings. Neurons ending part म्हणतो आपण याला. Okay, through this also the different neurons get connected. Okay, and so this is the third component, that is the axon, which is being considered a tube-like structure that carry the electrical signals impulses from the cell body to the axon terminal that passes that to the other neurons. So it also passes the signal to the other millions of billions of neurons. That is the axon component. Okay. Then we have the next one, that is the synapses. Now this is the joint structure you can observe here. This part being referred as a synapses. So it is considered as a chemical junction between the terminals of one neuron and dendrites of the another neurons. Okay, so here this is being called as a dendroids. You can see. So this is the junction. This is the joint. You can see it is a joint. Synapse being considered as a joint between the what you can say terminal of one neuron and dendroids of another neuron. Okay. So synapses generally function of the synapse is nothing but converting the electrical signal into the chemical information. Okay, it's the functionality of the synapses is what converting the electrical signal into the chemical information which is conveyed between neurons at this site. Okay, so this functionality of the synapses is what converting the electrical signal into the chemical signal or into the chemical information we can say, and that is been again get transmitted to the other different kinds of neurons. Okay, so each you can see after the cell body you can see this junction, each of the junction or the joint is being referred as a synapses. Okay, and what it does conversion of electrical signal into the chemical information. Okay, now there are the different what we can say different types of the synapses also there synapses. Okay, there are the two main synapses which is used to perform the different activity in our brain and in our body. So one of that is the excitatory synapses and another is inhibitory synapses. Okay, excitatory synapses. So you can see here the signal received at this synapses encourage the neurons to do something. Okay, now what do you mean by this? This signal received at the synapses does what? Encourage the neurons to do something. And second type, the signal received at this synapse, that is the inhibitory synapse, inhibit the neurons to shut up. What do you mean by this? Is this activity get performed by human beings? Activity like encouraging yourself to do something and inhibiting. Inhibit means what? What do you mean by the inhibit? Yes, inhibit means what? Now these two words encourage and inhibits are opposite to each other.
Encourage means प्रोत्साहन and inhibits
म्हणजे
म्हणजे प्रतिबंध.
प्रतिबंध. आपला आपण आपला human beings does the human being encourage himself to do something? बरोबर ना?
Yes, sir.
How can you give me the example? Okay, when the exam period is going on, then at that time when you have to wake up early in the morning, okay, automatically some part in your brain tells you that you should wake up now early and you should do the study. Is this kind of things happens with ourselves?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
तर तिथं तिथे जे सिनॅप्स वर्क करतात दॅट सिनॅप्स इज रिफर्ड एज व्हॉट द एक्साइटेटरी, की जे सिनॅप्स विच इज द पार्ट ऑफ न्यूरॉन जे आपल्याला काय करतात, काही गोष्टी करण्यासाठी प्रोत्साहित करतात, काय करतात, एनकरेज करतात टू डू समथिंग. दॅट सिनॅप्सिस आर रिफर्ड एज व्हॉट द एक्साइटरी सिनॅप्सिस. बरोबर ना? जर मग आपल्याला प्रोत्साहन जे मिळत, व्हॉट एव्हर द एनकरेजमेंट वी गेट, who is responsible for that? Excitatory synapses. Got the point? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Whatever the encouragement the human being get to do something, anything that you do, how you get the encouragement for that? From which part of the body? Excitatory synapses. Now tell me the example of these inhibitory synapses. Just like I told you the example of during the exam period. Now I want the example from you related with the inhibitory synapses. Yes. Hmm. Inhibitory synapses means what? The synapses which inhibit the neurons. Inhibit means what?
विरोध करणे.
Which tells your neurons or which tells your brain to don't do that something. Yes or no? Which
Yes, sir.
advise your brain not to do that. That is the inhibitory synapses. And from inhibitory synapses signal goes to your brain not to do something, will the human being will do that? Yes, will the human being will do that particular thing if the inhibitory synapses signals goes to the neurons? Yes or no? What does the inhibitory synapses does? It encourage the neurons or discourage the neurons?
Discourage.
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 It prohibit the neurons, it inhibit the neurons or it discourage the neurons not to do something. Understood? जसं आता सेम एक्झाम्पल जसं मी तुम्हाला एक्झामच्या बाबतीत सांगितलं की ज्यावेळेस एक्झाम असते सो यू ट्राय टू वोक अप अर्ली इन द मॉर्निंग, पण त्याच वेळेस की कुठंतरी तुमच्या एकच थिंकिंग असते का तुमच्या ब्रेन मध्ये? सांगा मला. वेन यू हॅव टू वोक अप इन द अर्ली इन द मॉर्निंग, एकच थिंकिंग असते का तुमच्या ब्रेन मध्ये?
नाही.
नाही. एक एक कुठला तरी पार्ट म्हणत असतो जाऊ दे आता नंतर करू अभ्यास, आता झोपू आपण, असं होतं ना, बरोबर? इज दिस हॅपन्स? येस और नो?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Means one part of your brain is saying now you have to wake up and you have to study, correct? And some other
Yes,
also,
sir.
some other saying no, let's sleep some more time. Is it happens or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the neuron, what does the neuron does? Neuron analyze all the signal received at the synapses. Okay, means which signal it analyze? It analyze the excitatory signal also, as well as it analyze the inhibitory signal also. Okay, Merg, now out of these two signal, which is having the highest strength? What? Out of these two, which is having the highest strength? If it is having the strength of 80%, which one? Excitatory, and it is having the strength of 20%, then which signal will get fire? Yes, if this signal is having the strength of 80 and this is having the strength of 20, which signal will get fire?
Excitatory.
Excitatory. Means will you woke up or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you will woke up. So that is in this way this. So you can see here, according to the these signals get generated, the excitatory or the inhibitory, एकच सिग्नल आपल्या ब्रेन मध्ये जनरेट होतो का? नाही, मल्टिपल सिग्नल्स गेट जनरेटेड in our brains. Okay, but according to the strength, which signal is having the strength? As I said, it is having the 80% and it is having the 20%. So the work of the neuron is also what? To compare these signals. Okay, and after comparing this signal, which signal is having the highest strength? Choose that signal. Okay, and if this is having the highest, then that neuron get excited and fire its own message along a single wire. Okay, so this particular signal get fire means what? You will woke up. Now this particular signal is passed through which component of your neurons? It get passed through which component of your neuron? It passed through the axon. Okay, after doing the comparison of this signal strength, the particular signal get fire and that signal pass through which component? Axon. Understood? Now through the axon, it goes to the other neurons. It goes to the other neurons, to the other parts of your body, and then you woke up, and then rest of the activity starts. So that's why you can see in the diagram also, the axon may have branches to reach to many other neurons. You can see in the diagram also this axons being connected, this part being connected to the other parts of the body, and it is being connected to the other neurons also. Okay, so that is nothing but the synapse is a very important part of our brain or the nervous system that you can see. Okay, now which part is remaining to discuss? This part, that is the nucleus. All of you can be able to see the nucleus, this part. Okay, so nucleus of neuron is the oval shaped membrane, or is a rounded part bound structure found in the soma or body of the neuron. It is found in the soma, in the sense it is found inside the cell body. Okay, now what exactly it contains? It contains the some kind of now proteins. Now this particular nucleus is responsible for production of the proteins. What? It is responsible for production of the proteins within the cell body. Understood? You must have heard about that ribosomes, chromosomes, etc., etc. So production of that particular kind of thing is done by this nucleus, because these particular proteins and ribosomes are also required for the functioning of all other parts of our neurons, like the dendrites, synapses, axon, etc., etc. Understood? So these are nothing but what you can say, different components of our biological neurons. So single neurons we have discussed here, like these neurons, there are billions of neurons are present in the human brains. Okay, and with the help of these different components, our human brain receive the signal from different parts of the body, as well as our human brain transmit the signal to the different parts of our body. Understood, all of you?
Yes, sir.
So this same part we are going to apply it to our main point, that is the artificial neural network. So today, that's why we have completed the particular biological neural network. In that specifically we have discussed how this neural network forms and what kind of activity it does, what are its different components, etc., etc. So 5 main components we have seen regarding the neurons. In that, first one is what? Dendrites. Okay, so dendrite functionality is what? It used to mainly, its function is what? Transmitting message from the cell body to the other parts of the body and having the connection with the other neurons. Then we have seen the cell body. Cell body used to protect this particular inside structure, that is the soma, that is the nucleus. Okay, and cell body also responsible for sending the information to the other neurons and keeping the control on all other parts of these particular neurons. That is the cell body. Then we have seen the axon. When certain signal get fire, just like we have discussed in case of the excitatory synapses and the inhibitory synapses. So when neurons choose the some particular signal, when some signal get fires after comparison or after analysis, then carrying that particular signal is nothing but the work of this axon. Okay, and where it is carrying that signal? To the other parts of the body. Okay, that is the axon. And then we have seen the synapse, which convert the electrical signal into the chemical information and convey that between to the other neurons. So that is the joint like structure, that is the synapse. Okay, and lastly we have studied this nucleus, which is nothing but creating the proteins, ribosomes, etc., etc., which is helpful for the functioning of other parts of our body. Okay, so that is the biological neural network. Okay, and what exactly the computational? So in the biological neural network, which is the main computational unit is there? Yes, in the biological neural network, main computational unit is what?
Neuron.
Neuron is the main computational unit आणि न्यूरॉनचे सुद्धा वेगवेगळे कंपोनेंट्स असतात जे आपण स्टडी केले. Okay, dendrite, synapses, some of important we have studied. So now next lecture will make the use of this study to understand the artificial neural networks. All of you understood the today's part?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
tomorrow we'll continue with the our main concept that what exactly is in the artificial neural network. Okay, so that's it for the today's lecture. Remaining
Thank
part
you,
we will
sir.
continue in the next lecture. Thank you all of you.